Hello, everybody. It's Shark. I know I'm not supposed to be here at the start of the episode, but I wanted to welcome you to what I consider to be Season 2 of Pretty Fly for a Senpai. Episode 1 took us months to put together. This episode was recorded Thursday last week. So go us. We've changed up our formula a bit from play-by-play to roundtable discussion, and we're all super happy with the new format. And I know you will be too. I do want to draw your attention to our updated show notes, which will now include segment timestamps, so you can find that part you really liked, or skip to the part you're interested in. There are also content warnings where appropriate, and this episode does have a couple towards the start, so maybe check to be on the safe side. With that out of the way, welcome to Season 2 of Pretty Fly for a Senpai.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 45th inaugural Beastars selection and Pretty Fly for a Senpai podcast. My name is Ty Muffin.
I'm Shark Wellington. Look at me do a backflip.
Whoa! And how am I supposed to go after that? Well, I'm Hero 19X, just sitting in a chair.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. It's a nice chair.
It is. I mean, I'm also wearing cat ears too because we're talking about Beastars. So
He might be the true Beastar.
All right, actually, I'm gonna come out from left field and I'm gonna hit you guys with the most important question of your life.
oh Jesus!
If you had a persona that were an animal, per se, which animal would you be?
I told myself I was gonna take a test. I was gonna take an animal test and I was gonna send it to you guys because I felt like this was gonna happen. And oh God, damn it! I should have thought of it.
This is important. It's going to shape our fan mail for like the next couple weeks.
It's overflowing right now.
Yeah.
It's overflowing as it
God.
is, Shark. What are you doing?
I know what is
There's so
happening.
much controversy. That
God.
Demon Slayer take on Twitter was too hot.
It was too hot. The K-On! Episode was too spicy.
It was spicy. I got ratioed by anime Twitter. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't ask questions. Apparently, the demons don't train, and that I was wrong. I'm sorry for having the wrong opinion. Okay.
How dare you, Ty Muffin?
Expect to hear about this again in the next episode.
I okay. We're not getting into it. I apologize for having the wrong Demon Slayer opinions and for not understanding the deeper intricacies of the series.
That's fine. I don't know anything about it.
Perfect.
The first step is admitting our mistakes.
True. My fursona would be a ferret.
I never said fursona.
You said a fursona that was an animal, which is
I said a persona of the animal type.
See, now this is where I feel like I got baited. I've been baited.
You got baited. Man, I don't know. Like, I'd probably, it was the time I was thinking about it because I was thinking about doing a VTube model just to have for a redemption. I thought about doing a cat because I don't know. I think I'm me as a cat, so I'd be a cat.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
It's fitting. Those cat ears are just,
Hey, you know.
it's the real hero coming out.
I'm already a shark, so.
Oh, dang.
Oh, wow. That
Wait,
that
game was rigged from the start.
This was right from the start.
Anyway.
Get walking on the wild side.
Oh my God.
Don't wanna fall asleep through my life.
Oh boy. That OP slap though. For real.
It's been stuck in my head. The stop motion was really good too. Hero brought it up the other day that it reminds both of us of like those old Christmas puppet shows.
Oh,
Yes.
100%.
And the way
100%.
that the emotion in their faces is just they captured it. They captured their emotions like with the stop motion 110%. It looks so good.
Oh, it was super good. And then Legoshi ate Haru, which was I don't think that happened in the anime. Unless this is all in purgatory.
I don't think it's a fever dream or death dream or whatever you want to call it.
It's definitely on my anime list.
It's so good. It's so good. I like how it transitions from like hardcore, like I'm not gonna say like horrorcore, hardcore, like spooky stuff into jazz, but it kind of does. It goes hard, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey everybody, let's get happy and dance in the sunlight.
It's called jazz. It just gets me going. I want to get up and start dancing too.
It kind of like made me think of like the Nightmare Before Christmas type animation, you know, with like
yes.
I don't think there was any blood at all in Nightmare Before Christmas, but if there was, it'd probably be kind of like that.
Yeah.
He had like saliva coming out of his mouth that they didn't have to do that, but I think I appreciate that they did.
Yeah, the tears in his eyes. It was good.
Yeah.
So moist.
They did a very good job in general with like when Legoshi was like going into his instinctual mode, the feel of everything, like how it would change was so good. I could feel how he was feeling, if that, you know, like makes sense. I'm not a wolf, but you know, like you'd start seeing the vapors drifting into his nose and up into his circling his brain, and he would be like, just like the fog would be closing in, like he can't think, you know, and it's like you can barely see his face behind everything.
I noticed how when he first, we're jumping right in.
Yeah, we're jumping right in.
I liked how when he first stopped himself from devouring Haru, and he had his instinctual, I'm going to just murder this tiny creature, and he got his, like, you know, his instinct mixed up with her smell, almost.
Oh.
Like, God, what do I want to say? Because it's like what what Gohin said later, where it's like, oh, you got your romance and your hunger instincts all confused, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
And rewatching it, I noticed, I'm like, oh, he like totally confuses her scent when he goes like into the gardening club or whatever, and has that interaction with her because it triggers the memory of the hunting instinct for like 2 frames.
Do you think that it would have played out the same if Haru would it have played out the same if Haru hadn't started taking his pants off? Like, do you think that was partially a catalyst? Like, he does sort of act like a sort of like a teenager.
Yep.
coming in contact with sex for the first time ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's definitely the thing that I think that I don't think that had much to do with it, because I think, like, maybe, I don't know, he doesn't understand what's happening. Like, he's still very much like he's having confused puberty thoughts throughout the entire.
Exactly. That's how I felt like this whole thing was just like, I'm going to probably say his name, Legoshi or is it Legoshi?
Legoshi.
Yeah, Legoshi throughout the whole anime season, for all 12 episodes, he is just having these confusing thoughts, and like I like how as we're going on, we're seeing like him not even, I don't want to say mature, but like slowly put them together, figure out what he wants.
Mm-hmm. Like that's something that I think, as someone who has like matured into like adulthood, like it bugged me a few different times that he's like so indecisive, but I also kind of had to realize like that is how your brain is thinking when you're like in high school.
For sure.
Is just, he was constantly like, anytime someone would come up to him looking for like a fight, he'd be like, how do I lose this? How do I make sure that how do I lose this fight without making it obvious? And he's like making a whole plan in his head. He just desperately wants like nobody to even notice he's there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just very, very awkward, which I can relate to,
because
I was like 6'5" in high school, so. And I didn't talk much.
Well, excuse me, Shark. I'm 5'6". I've been short. I've been looking up to you. I'm Haru.
And I was also a wolf, so
Oh no.
I also almost ate my classmates. That is my first big aside. How did this society get this far?
True.
This is a good question.
How did they make it here? Because it feels like every week or so, there's like another story of, oh yeah, someone ate somebody else. Like every week. Could you imagine living your life like that? Like, oh yeah, the guy down the road got ate. That's a shame.
They make you think like that doesn't happen, but then as we get more and more into the anime, it's just like, yeah, everyone gets eaten every other week, and everyone's perfectly fine with it. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, it's just it's so weird to me that there isn't like, I guess like I just, it doesn't feel like there's anything in place to like stop this epidemic.
It's crazy, like everyone's so used to it, it almost feels like, because the whole series opens with, you know, Tem getting devoured.
We still don't know who he got devoured by.
Yeah, we don't know who he got devoured by, but you see, you know, there's like a memorial in front of the classroom that he got eaten in. Nobody's fixed the door yet, by the way, like
Nope,
6 months
still
in. The door's still busted. But like that memorial gets like, by the time I think Louis goes back near the end of the series, and his flowers are the only ones there that are being laid down at the memorial in front of the still broken door at the murder scene. But it's like, okay, just nobody, at a certain point, everybody forgets and just they're numb to it, which actually,
oh God,
that was a cool moment though. Like when Louis went back, like when nobody was there, you know, because like the first time we meet him, he's like, everybody's watching him put these flowers down, and when he goes back towards the end, he's the only one there, and he's not doing it for show.
True.
You know, he's like doing it for himself, and he says, "Your death will not be in vain," or something to that effect.
It's interesting. And the more, like, me saying that out loud, like, I've just had an epiphany that's maybe closer to reality than, not like a murder necessarily, but like, speaking from experience, we had a kid when I was in high school, a friend of a friend, you know, committed suicide. And, you know, the first couple days it was, you know, a lot of people freaking out, and then just over time, nobody cared. As sad as that is to say, it's one of those, I guess it's just a thing.
I think everybody can relate to that.
Yeah, but
Thank you for sharing, Time Muffin.
no problem. No, that wasn't like deeply personal or anything. I didn't know the guy.
I can cut it if you'd like.
That's fine. You can, I don't care. It's you can leave it in if it fits. If we can segue out of this gracefully.
So, I don't know if you guys felt the same way, but with the carnivores and the herbivores, like when they're going not back and forth with each other, did I don't want to say it's like racism, but you felt like it was like some kind of like,
It definitely felt like an analogy. Yeah.
100%. 100%.
is that definitely, I don't want to say it made me feel like that's also kind of relatable too, but I mean it's wild.
I think it's kind of meant to make you feel uncomfortable, comfortable, and like make you kind of think to yourself, well, I mean, these characters have other defining characteristics about them. Like Louis just goes around all day long telling people how he expects them to act because of their species. I can remember like with the wolves, he would just be like, you know, you should just be aggressive because you are the aggressive animal. And like, I should have expected that from a sloth or whatever, you know?
That's an interesting thing, because over the course of the entire series, for the most part, obviously it goes different directions near the end, but both Louis and Legoshi are actively fighting against their status. They're like, Legoshi is as a carnivore who's trying to be more timid and more like an herbivore, whereas Louis is an herbivore that has more like aggressive like ambitions. So he's trying to, like he said, he sees power as his way to become the Beastar.
Oh, polar opposites. Wow, I didn't like. They're trying to swap roles.
Oh.
It's part of why Louis is, I think, at least in my head canon, it's why Louis is so mad when Legoshi is trying to be timid or what have you, and Louis like pins him to the wall, and the officer is like, "You bite me, you coward, bite me," because he wants to see his true nature. He wants to see his power because he secretly deep down he wants that power.
He definitely is jealous of carnivores. Not necessarily for being carnivores, but just for being naturally stronger, I think. I think if like herbivores also were bulky, and I mean there are some out there, but this was mainly all like deer and rabbits and whatnot, but needs to be like a gorilla. Was there any gorillas?
He hadn't met Gohin yet. What if he saw Gohin, he'd be like, "Oh,
Oh,
the panda, he's so buff and strong."
I mean, you couldn't blame him with the way that Louis was past was when he was pretty much being sold off as like meat on the black market. So I mean, if anyone was in that scenario, they would hate carnivores too, I would assume.
that would really mess you up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I understood correctly, it was like he was kidnapped. Like, was he born into that meat thing, or was he kidnapped?
I mean, he was. Dang it, I don't remember if you know.
Because he didn't know how to read or write or speak. He couldn't even speak. That's right. Which means like, yeah, it's like a puppy mill situation, but for meat in the black market.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't take notes specifically on it. I took notes about how his number was 4 and he was sold to the black market, but the deer guy bought him, and now here he is.
Yeah, but no, that's the kind of stuff that would really mess you up.
Real trauma.
I'm pretty sure it was like at 5, yeah, and like this dude just comes in and says, "I like the fight in that one, I'll take him." And then he like tosses him into a room with a knife with like 3 carnivores.
Yup.
And they like he just wants to see if he'll fight back. And when he's about to just like dive in and probably get ripped to shreds, then the adult deer just yanks him back in.
Well, it's not even that. He was about to commit suicide. He was about to take his own life.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he was about to cut his neck.
Yep.
Okay.
He was about to take his own life, and he liked his resolve. It's wild. Like Louis is insane. This dude wants to make sure that everything he does is on point, to the point where like he breaks his ankle and he's still doing like the whole drama thing, like doing the whole show. It just blows my mind what kind of resolve this dude has.
I think part of what causes him to have so much strong drive is I think he has decided his life is forfeit. He seems very intent on going into situations that are most likely going to get him killed, but he's going to go down swinging if he can.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a bit of the sort of redemption of when he had to think, well, am I going to go save Haru, or am I going to take this easy ticket to being a Beastar? And he was wrestling with the fact that what he truly wanted was to save herbivores, but the Beastar thing kind of was also like, he really kind of wanted that for himself too, a little bit. I think, he justified it a little bit that it would help him be a good example for herbivores, but I think a bit of it was for himself.
Yeah, I think there was selfishness there, but it was also, he was, greater good versus save the person I really love, kind of thing, which I don't think he would have acted fast enough if Legoshi did not act as quickly as he did.
Legoshi's a really good boy. I love him a lot.
Legoshi's a good boy. Before we move on to Legoshi, I found who the adult deer works for. He is the president of the Horns Conglomerate.
Yes, the Horns Conglomerate, the finest establishment.
The return of the conglomerate.
But no, Legoshi's best boy. I love the way he is portrayed in the dub so much.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm going to get into that now. The dub is better than the sub, and it is.
I agree.
I will give the moment that I felt it. Like, I watched the whole thing. I watched all the way to the end in the sub this time when I rewatched it, and I went, I seem to remember feeling more feelings at the end of this the last time I watched it. And I just went back and I'm like, maybe I'll switch back to the dub and see what it does for me. And I rewatched it and I got goosebumps as I was watching it, Legoshi run after Haru up the steps. And I'm like, okay, the dub is just better. Legoshi's voice actor in particular, he just put so much of himself, like he embodied the character in that voice so well.
So it took you until the final episode, the final part of the final episode.
I knew that the sub voice acting was not great for Legoshi because he had two modes. He had anger mode and I'm going to talk like this, monotone, no emotion at all mode. And that was it. Whereas, switching to the dub, like, yeah, his voice is kind of low and there's not a lot of inflection to it, but it makes the inflection that is there matter more.
Absolutely. The voice actor for Legoshi did a fantastic job. It was one of those things where it was a sort of character, like, I've known people like this in real life where, like, you meet them and you think, oh, this person seems tired or depressed or maybe angry all the time or, like, really gruff or something. And then as you get to know that person, you're like, that is their default mode. And you kind of recalibrate over time. The first time we see Legoshi, we're just like, he's this really down and out loner. But then when we see how his conversations go and how his inner monologue goes, we're like, he's just not all that expressive. And he's a bit uncertain, but he's not depressed. He's not at all depressed. Really.
I think you mentioned at the start, he's just misunderstood because he doesn't know how to social. He's just not socialized at all. It kind of feels like once you talk to him, he's like, oh, he's a nice guy. Once you talk to him, it's that whole deal.
I definitely, my biggest example of that is when he delivers Tem's love note.
Oh my
exactly.
God.
That's exactly what I was gonna get to.
He comes out of the fog like Michael Myers, and he's like, "I've got your note here." She's like, "Oh, here's my death. Like, I guess this is where I die, huh?"
Well, she calls it like she turns around, and this is the first time I noted, like, yo, this is like the racism stuff, because she turns around and goes, "You carnivores, all you want to do is just eat. You're just gonna devour me like you devoured Tem." And it's like, here's a love letter, yo. And then she apologizes. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. And he's like, it's okay. I'm used to it. I'm like, don't worry about it.
Oh my God.
It's like, oh, it broke my heart.
Yeah, it definitely kind of cuts both ways.
Mm-hmm.
The voice actor for Legoshi, I just looked it up because they sound really familiar. And he also voices Phoenix Man from One Punch Man Season 2. They sound so similar. Oh God, they don't. I'm just like, what the frig? Phoenix Man?
Well, while we're talking about him, we'll talk about his name, Jonah Scott. Like, he killed it. He killed it in this.
He killed it.
Yeah, he's done some voices for, like, Fire Force and some other things. And honestly, before Beastars, it seemed like he didn't really have a lot of big roles. Mostly just tiny roles and stuff like that. But after this, like, and rightfully so, he started getting bigger roles because he absolutely slayed this role completely.
And while we are on the subject of voice actors, I've got to mention that Jack is voiced by the same guy who is...
I knew you'd bring up Jack.
Yeah, Jack is voiced by Haida in Agretzko, and I guess I just can't help but notice whenever someone from Agretzko is in a different anime. But he's also been in Codename Kids Next Door as numbers 1 and 2, Joseph Joestar in the first season of JoJo. He was Shiru Ogami in Brand New Animal. And he was also in Kingdom Hearts, but Time Muffin doesn't talk about that.
What did he do in Kingdom Hearts?
Young Master Xehanort?
Xehanort! Oh my God! the ultimate evil villain of Kingdom Hearts.
Time up and is slumped over.
That's for a different type of podcast.
This poor man waited like 2 decades to be bailed out by a mobile game.
Yo, dog.
I'm gonna throw up.
Did you know the mobile game was at the heart of the kingdom the whole time?
Dude, it's so ridiculous. I know this is not anime, but man, at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, where all you're just seeing the names on the Keyblades fly by, I'm like, what the hell? My name's not there. I played the mobile game.
If you stare into the abyss will stare back into you.
Mickey, no.
Mickey, stop. You're wearing too many zippers. Stop.
Take this, you heartless fiend. Oh, God damn it.
All right, but back on track.
So when every time Haru talked, I kept getting confused because I'm thinking of Kairi from Kairi from Digimon. Oh my God, it got Kingdom Hearts stuck in my.
Yo, she did that voice, bro.
And that was a long time ago in a galaxy far away.
It was a long time ago.
She really kind of has what feels like almost like a sort of farm girl accent or a little bit of a southern twang in there.
It's so good. She got just a little nasally with it, and it added just enough character.
Mm-hmm. And like she would always like make snippy comments at like the worst possible times. All right, we're gonna go into Mizuchi and Mizuchi's boyfriend and Haru for a half a moment because I want to at least like discuss you guys' thoughts on all that.
Okay.
We aren't really given the details, but from what we understand, like Mizuchi's boyfriend was attracted to Haru, but like she didn't, like she kissed him. I don't know if she was like resisting him at all or if they slept together. Is that ever made clear?
It's made clear that she sleeps with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that's kind of where I didn't remember it quite going down like that the first time I'd watched it. And so going into this, I was thinking, I'm on Haru's side in this. After watching this, I hate everybody involved. Everybody sucks.
I think that it's a thing where knowing the backstory, like when they go into like why she is so promiscuous, you know, she's treated like every other animal. I don't get looked at with pity in the bedroom like I do walking around the halls of school and carrying heavy things. Like I understand it, but no, I agree with you that it doesn't excuse it at all.
Well, after rewatching it, I didn't understand, but I kind of do. Yeah, she's sick and tired of, like how Time Off said, sick and tired of being like the helpless, like damsel in distress type of deal. And when she's, you know, in the bed with someone, they're on equal grounds. But you also have to know too that like she and Louis were a thing, and Louis was always out doing something and never giving her attention. So all these other guys were giving her attention, and she wanted someone's affection. And unfortunately, Louis wasn't giving it to her. So that's why she was looking elsewhere. Is it wrong? I think so. 110%. She could just, you know, there's other ways to deal with this kind of stuff, but I didn't think like that and the first time around, but then after rewatching it the second time, I'm just like, she's just lonely. She's just trying to fill a hole that Louis is leaving. And yeah.
I think that the way that Haru responded to Mizuchi when she was confronted about the whole thing could have been done better.
I think so.
Like she didn't need to be as snippy and snarky as she was.
She was flaunting it almost in a way.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like that's her defense mechanism because all she really has to fight back with are her words because her physical form is nothing, you know? She's like the smallest person, and all she can really do is hurl a few clever insults before she gets eaten or whatever. Mm-hmm. You know, like multiple times she's like in mortal peril and she's like, well, I'm just gonna insult this person because it's all I've got.
True.
But yeah, I guess to circle back also to kind of her relationship with Louis, it kind of felt like both of them were sort of disingenuous on both ends of what they were looking for. But at the same time, it kind of felt like they knew. Like, Louis would never tell anybody that he was seeing Haru. He would never admit to it. And like the one time Legoshi showed up on the rooftop as he was leaving, we're just friends. That's it. And he just hangs her out to dry when she gets kidnapped later.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Haru can kind of sense that disconnect as well. That I think she can. I think that's part of why she doesn't really feel bad for just kind of flaunting and like just going off on her own when Louis isn't there, because he's probably off doing his own stuff and not caring what happens to her. So,
I mean, in Louis' defense, he did go back, right? I mean, like during that scene after Legoshi took Haru away and Haru was helping him out, I mean, he killed the old lion boy, but
he did kill the lion boy.
He did make him beg for his life down the barrel of a pistol.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like I get what you're saying, where he chose the power, like trying to be a Beastar over Haru, but then like kind of, I don't want to say behind the scenes, but like literally just when no one knows he's doing something, he's just taking care of business.
Hello to my tastiest listener. Is that weird? Might have been a little weird. Welcome to episode 5 of Pre-Fly for a Senpai, Beastars Season 1. You'll hear us mention a few times about a Discord server. You can find the link to that Discord server in the show notes. We host viewing parties for upcoming anime that will be on the show, as well as general discussion about games, anime, pop culture, whatever have you. We're super friendly. You can talk to the senpais in there. Check out that link. I'm in the server too, and I'm lonely. Would you please come in and say hello? Go join our Discord server. And hey, while I'm bending your ear, please rate our podcast on whatever service you're listening to it from, be it YouTube, iTunes, Google Podcasts, whatever. Share it with your friends. Maybe not your parents. It's a little bit raunchy. But please, any exposure means the world to us. And we just really want to be friends with everybody. Help us achieve our dream. Thank you for being yourself. Yeah. I'm just trying to think. Like the last time we talked about was how Haru and Louis were kind of on both ends of their relationship. It feels like they both kind of knew and understood that the other person wasn't entirely invested, but it was kind of all they had.
Mm-hmm.
Like Louis just wanted somebody who wouldn't pry into his life. Like one time, like he said to Haru, like she was starting to ask, like, is something wrong? And he was like, my favorite thing about you is that you don't pry into other people's lives. And then he just gets up and goes.
I think another thing that I just realized when you said that is that they both just want to be treated like everybody else.
Exactly.
Louis just wants to be treated like a normal animal, and Haru just wants to be looked at as an equal. They both want to be looked at as equals in different ways. And I think that it's, you just mentioning that, Shark, really kind of just, I've had another epiphany, 2 epiphanies in one day. Wow. So yeah, it's really, they both want the relationship for the same reasons, but they both can't have the relationship they want for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, Louis, he has an arranged marriage,
Oh, I forgot about that.
Wait, he does?
I
missed
totally.
that?
Yeah. Yeah. He threw that out there like at the start or something.
Yeah, he's like, you know, we can't be together forever, Haru. My marriage is already arranged. It's taken care of.
Would be nice if we ever got to meet that person.
I know, right?
Was that just mentioned like off the cuff? Like it was like a just that
Yes.
type of deal?
It was a one line.
I don't remember that.
It was a single line. It was in the scene right before Legoshi appears at the hut when they are done with coitus.
Oh my god!
You guys are such prudes.
What? What do you want me to say, Shark? Tell me what you want me to say. Well,
I don't
how do you
wanna
want
say
me to
what I
refer
After
want
to
they
you to
had
say.
sex,
Oh,
my goodness.
they be doing the dirty.
they be doing the dirty as skeet.
I guess I did ask for this.
You
I did ask for
This is your fault.
All right, post-coitus though.
Post-coital Legoshi is, it hits hard.
We wouldn't know though. Not yet. That's Louis we're talking about, not Legoshi.
Not the post. Anyway, I do think it's interesting. Speaking about trying to segue cleanly out of that one, that like Haru and Louis can't be together because it's like they're not the same species, and it's his marriage is arranged, and that's not the way this world works. Well, Legoshi and Juno feels the same way as Louis does about what she wants in a relationship with Legoshi, but it's Legoshi has too strong of feelings in the other direction, and then she just can't get what she wants. Juno can't, that is.
Could you imagine a world in which not only do you have to find someone compatible with you, but they also have to be the correct species? It's hard enough, okay?
It's hard enough.
It's hard enough already without having to worry about being the same species. Like, Juno and Legoshi were like the only gray wolves in the whole school.
Yo, they were like, okay, here's another thing. Do you remember biology day?
Mm-hmm. I knew you were gonna bring that up. I knew you were gonna do it.
There were like 15 gray wolves at this school. Like,
yeah.
Didn't someone look mad old?
They did. It's like, yo, there's so many gray wolves. Why is everybody picking on Legoshi for being like a gray wolf and not like being strong and stuff? You got this other like little girl gray wolf over there who's chilling reading like manga or whatever while she's sitting in the moon room. What?
Yeah, she seems fairly hinged as opposed to every other option. I want to know more about Manga Girl. I want to know her story.
They all disappear.
Yeah, like they're gone into the ether.
I never saw another salamander.
What? When was that in biology?
There was a salamander. There were a couple salamanders chilling in a sauna or whatever.
Yep, they're just hanging out.
Were they the ones that were like, oh, I can't see anything through this fog?
Yes, exactly.
They were like a sauna. It was like totally steamed up. They all looked nice. I would have taken a little tour of all those. Yeah. That was pretty cool.
It was neat. And I think that it's another like when after the big mob guy fight and you have the big awkward "it's my first time" episode, they mention, oh, we may as well just stay here. It says it's okay for interspecies couples.
Right?
So it's like it feeds back into not like, it's not only is it's socially taboo, but it's a thing where you got to go to some real seedy places to even find a place that will accommodate you.
Circling a little bit on like the biology rooms, like what were you guys' favorite like sort of animal-isms? Like there was like the hen. I don't know if you guys caught this at the tail end of the series. Legoshi is talking to Jack, and Jack's like, "Do you do anything this summer? Do you want to go do anything now?" He's like, "I haven't had any watermelon." Like, did you guys catch that? Like, wolves love watermelon.
Yeah.
It's good. I like how they in-world explained why Legoshi just goes Super Saiyan.
Yep.
Whenever he smells Haru. It's real nice. That's probably, I think that's my favorite like lore animal thing that they do. Is it's like, okay, why is it that he just goes crazy buff Super Saiyan? How can he kill a gang when he smells the rabbit? And then they explain it like almost immediately. But
the simple explanation is that guy should have pulled the trigger a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like while he was like powering up and then talking about how much he was like, I'm gonna kill you for touching her. And then he like waves around the pistol for a while.
Welcome to Dragon Ball Z. That is what Dragon Ball Z literally is. As Goku's turning Super Saiyan 3, Boo's just standing there just going,
oh man, and like freaking yeah, no, their incompetence really screwed them over there, because the first guy took forever to like not even shoot his gun. And then Legoshi just runs inside and just barrels past everyone and leaves the panda to like clean up his mess. Like he'd keep running into a room and there's like a half dozen guys and like the panda's got to clean up.
Speaking about the panda, I like how Time Muffin was saying, where they were talking when they talk about the different they give lore to why animals act the way. When Panda Boy got punched in the nose, he was like, "Oh, they know, to hit my nose is where my nerves are." I'm just like, I didn't know that. Freaking the more you know. I was learning from watching Beastars. Not only we're watching animals have sex, we're learning.
Wow, biology is amazing. So now Hero knows if he's ever in a fist fight with a panda,
yes,
you got to go for the nose.
Go for the nose. Bop.
Wow. You're right. True.
True.
Dude, I did like his bamboo crossbow though.
Yes.
Yo, why does he have a bandolier if he has a crossbow? What's going on there? He's got like a bandolier of shotgun shells and he has a crossbow. What is happening?
I didn't catch that.
It's so true.
He was a good shot with that though. That bamboo like went through skulls.
Yo, he don't mess around.
He definitely headshot a couple people. Dude, I was like waiting for they were like hollowed out. So I was like waiting for like one to go through someone's neck and just kind of like trickle out blood. Maybe I'm just a terrible person. I should get that checked.
Just brutal. Just wanting the savagery. I mean, at the end of that whole, the action scene at the end of that whole thing, when Legoshi is finally like, I will be her carnivore or whatever.
Yeah.
She's my prey.
That fight scene, the direction is so good. Like the swooping camera angled thing.
The cameras did a lot of work in this anime.
Mm-hmm.
They did, dude. Like, the split screens and stuff when,
oh my God,
between two people interacting is so good. Like, the scene in particular that I really liked for that kind of thing is it's the scene where Haru is undressing Legoshi, and you see him. It's like right before it. He's like, all you see him with his hands on his temples. And he's like sighing, but he's not. His mouth isn't moving. All you're hearing is his inner monologue, and he's so inside his own head, he just can't be in the moment at all, and he doesn't understand what the other person is thinking.
Yeah,
and she just stares there. She just sits there and she's looking at him like, "What does he want? What is he trying to say?" He's not saying anything. What is he trying to say? And there's moments like that throughout the whole thing. That one I think is the best example of it, where you are seeing both sides of the story at once. It's not like a 3-camera show where it cuts back and forth between the two characters that are talking and interacting. It's so nice to have that. And it's not just a still frame of the other character. They're actually like reacting and emoting or like moving naturally.
Definitely the stuff that stuck out to me was when Legoshi would be deep in thought and it would like zoom in on his face and like it would have a sort of hazy, like it was usually talking to Haru, like she'd be saying something, but she's like almost blocked out by his thoughts. And like he actually occasionally says a couple of short sentences back to her while he's also thinking a million other things. He's like not even present in the conversation. And they just do a very good job of kind of helping you understand how things look in their heads, like just kind of what their thoughts are looking like.
Mm-hmm.
And visually too, like somehow they're able to really do well, like visually showing you how their minds are kind of turning things over.
I'm confused about these feelings. Also, my body.
Also, my body, the anime.
Well,
it's crazy when I think when we were talking about the whole the Hotel Rose scene when they're about to just do it. And Haru was just like, I'm sorry, my body's literally telling me to go inside your mouth. It's just like, it's so crazy.
It's so crazy.
That one was hard for me. Like, I was like, what? Come on.
It's you got to think of it from the rabbit's point of view. The rabbit is either you run or you die. So, like, instinctually, that's hardwired. Like, trying to think of it from that perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Like... It's hard to conceptualize that as like humans, but it's so crazy to think. I mean, it happened before where she's sitting there eating lunch with him across the table, and every time,
oh yeah, and her leg keeps kicking, right?
Exactly. Every time he takes a bite, her leg just goes, and you know, it cuts to inside her mind, like you were talking about, Shark, and she's like, every fiber of my being, I'm smiling on the outside, but every fiber of my being is telling me that, oh my God, I need to run.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't seem to feel that way the first time she met Legoshi, though. Like, maybe she was suppressing it a bit, but it felt like it kicked up after that first time they met. Like, she didn't really seem to have any hangups the first time she met him.
I think that it was mostly... It wasn't a thing because it was a thing entirely about, it was like an oral thing. You know what I mean? Like when he was eating, she needed to run, or like he opened his mouth in the hotel. Like all of those like instincts had something to do with his mouth in some way. Take that how you will, I guess.
It makes me think of the lion mayor that got like his teeth ground down or something,
Yeah.
or were they replaced?
He had like 4 million yen worth of plastic surgery to look more friendly.
Dude looked a bit like those kind of Barbie doll real life people, though. Like his face was just a little bit off. It was a little too symmetrical.
It's true. It's true.
You know, it felt like there should have been like some Botox shine coming off his forehead or something.
It's a lot of plastic surgery. Like
it is.
It's funny that the lion wasn't the lion also the mayor in Zootopia also.
Oh my God! Is this part of the same universe?
It's the same one.
Oh my God! We did it. We cracked the code.
Where's the sloth?
We all knew this was coming, but I gotta say, as an aside, that Beastars is like Zootopia if they had some Gargonzola balls.
There you go.
Yeah.
The last
If
word.
they had balls.
You got there.
I don't know.
You got there in the end.
Beastars is like Zootopia with balls in it.
It's true.
It'll
They had the gall to show rabbit porno, okay?
True.
Oh my gosh, no. The scene with Jack finding
Oh my
the magazines. And he's like, so Legoshi, are you like interested in anyone? I mean, it could be anything. I mean, it could be like, I don't know, a rabbit, or
Yeah.
he just tackles him like, what do you know?
That's right. He freaks out and he throws Jack against the wall. Like, what are you doing? Yeah.
None can know my secret.
There are a lot of secrets.
I also like that the panda just had that sitting around.
It's a work tool. It's work. It's a tax write off. It's for work.
It's a tax write-off.
Speaking of weird fetishes, let's talk about the chicken.
Oh no,
Bro, yes, yes.
We'll just segue like that.
The chicken who I have in my notes. I don't think it's this. I think she feels a sense of personal pride watching people enjoy eating her eggs. I didn't want to kink shame. Okay, that's what we're gonna.
I mean, yeah, it does kind of bring to mind like how would you you're just eating a sandwich and like a hen comes up to you and says, "Hey, that's my personal recipe right there." Wink at you, walk away.
Oh no!
I made those special.
Oh no!
You're snacking on the Wednesday special, huh? Yeah, you like them? Extra good. I worked hard, eating right. I've been regular lately. Can you tell from the sandwich?
I've been regular.
Oh god!
I've been getting more fiber, you know.
Oh
Trying to-
no! The Metamucil's really kicking in. Can you tell? Can you taste it?
It is funny, but I did also I did like that little. It was only like a 3-minute thing at the start. It was fun.
It was like a nice little break from what we were trying to what they're trying to do.
Yes, it was some good levity.
I love how she called Legoshi sad brows.
Said brows.
That's right.
She's like, we're all alphabetical. So did she even know his name? I think she said she didn't know his name.
No.
No, that's why she called him sad brows. Yeah.
It's like all she has to do is say like 2 words to him, but oh well. Sad brows look sad all the time.
He does. It's true. The only time he looks truly happy is when he eats my eggs.
When he eats my
eggs.
eggs.
May I offer you an egg in these trying times?
Mm-hmm. Oh, one more thing about I want to go back to the Hotel Rose scene real quick. I just have one thing that I have in my notes that I forgot about. When they're sitting there on the bed and Legoshi is like admitting that he's the one who almost devoured her that one night. In the mirror, it shows them from that night.
Yes, I did catch that.
So good.
It was super good.
So good. God, it's so good.
I gotta say, the look on his face, like both that night and when he is doing that in the hotel, is just so perfect somehow, because it's like this mixture of it's you can tell the fight is happening like in his head, you know, like his eyes are wide open, he's taking in everything, you know, his heart's beating faster, you see like this bit of mist coming in from the edges, and Haru's just like, well, he can either eat me or have sex with me, so
That's true. Like, she gave him 2 options, and I was just like, well, would there be a third option? Like, maybe just like, can we just be friends? Like, is that a thing? Like, for real?
Can we have cuddles? Cuddles are good.
Why not both?
Oh man.
You can cut that if you want.
Oh no, we need it.
Oh no, we need it.
We need it.
This is where we become the Horny podcast.
This is true. D-Gen step 1.
Watch Beastars.
Speaking of D-Gens, apparently Juno can smell when people have boned.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Dude, oh my god. It's like, it smells like you guys didn't have sex.
Oh.
All I have in my notes is, damn, she can smell the sex on people.
If you guys had to choose, if you were Legoshi, would you choose Juno or Haru? I don't want to be that guy. There's probably another hot take ready to happen here, but I'm just curious.
Uh-oh, incoming hot takes.
Juno's pretty. Juno has just throws off some pretty hard yandere vibes. Like, I don't think I'm into that. It's not my brand of masochism. Okay.
It's hard because if Haru was like I feel like the species thing does play into it a little bit, because I feel like if I was like this giant hulking gray wolf like Legoshi, and like my whole life, like people were gonna think that I'm like about to eat the small rabbit girl, and if my whole life I was gonna be like, maybe I do want to eat my rabbit wife, like I think I would choose the person who is at least my same species and interested in me. I don't know, but I do really dislike how she went about trying to win him over. Like I was fine with it up until she did the spotlight at the festival, which was like just totally out of line. I felt like Legoshi was like, I don't even want to be here. I don't want to be talking about the supremacy of carnivores and how we should be empathetic to these poor, weak herbivores.
And it makes you think, though, that she was trying to use him, though, too, for her own goal to try to, because she wants to be a Beastar.
Yeah.
It's real quick, Shark, you mentioned, powerful, hulking powerful, and a tiny other person. I posted a picture in the Discord. I just need to share.
Please.
It'll be on. I'll put the.
Oh, dear Jesus! Oh, I know who this is.
See, I was expecting Shaquille O'Neal, but
no. I'll put this on the video and the podcast on YouTube in the background for this part if it makes it in. But
would you?
It's the mountain.
Would you like to? That's the mountain.
It's the mountain from Game of Thrones and his girlfriend who's like 5'2". So it's like, I don't know. You were talking about the whole, the difference in species will make a big difference, and that picture just popped into my mind, and I just needed to make sure we were all on the same page. That's all I got. You can continue with your point, Hero, if you remember where you were at. I totally interrupted you.
I kind of feel the same way. Whereas me personally, I've dated a lot of different people, so I mean, to me, it wouldn't make a bit of difference. But Juno, I don't know why, but I'm getting like good vibes off her. But like how Shark said, I don't like how she handles certain scenarios. I feel like, cross our fingers, season 2, that maybe we get to learn more about her instead of just her being like this whole like, oh, notice me, senpai, type of deal, and just doing whatever she can need, whatever she has to do to get him to notice her. When, hey, you need to like understand that, hey, he's a shy boy. He doesn't like to be in the center of attention. Like, why don't you get to know the guy first before, I don't know.
Right, that too. Like she only is interested in him because he's also a gray wolf. Like, that's like it.
Yeah.
Like they don't have any chemistry. All he ever did was stood up for her against bullies one time and taught her to dance that one time. And that was it. Like, that's the only stuff he's ever done for her. Like, and she's just decided, mine now. Like, very possessive.
The misinterpretation of nonverbal cues in that dance scene was pretty
true, right?
Pretty good. It's a good, like, Legoshi coming at it purely from a platonic perspective, and Juno's like, is this a romance manga?
And he's just like totally disinterested.
Yeah, just totally platonic with the whole thing. He's just like, here, move your arms like this. And no, you're doing that all wrong.
It's like not even like on his radar at all for like a second that she is interested. Like, I don't even feel like even like when she calls him on stage, I feel like he still isn't quite getting it. Like, he's still kind of like, why the heck are you bringing me up here? What's the reasoning? I want to be over there where Haru is.
Yep.
Not here, but like I still don't think he understands that she's interested. I do hope that Juno has a bit of redemption in the second season. I think like she strikes me as at least like a complicated character, but not like a bad person. Like, she's kind of in the ballpark of Louis, where they're just like really strong-willed, but they're like, they've got their reasons. So yeah, I would love to see some more backstory in season 2.
Same. I would like some more Legoshi backstory too, because we really got nothing from him.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, we don't know much about him.
we don't know much about Legoshi, and I don't know anything, but when I did peek a little bit into the manga, I did see baby Legoshi, and I was like, all right, I'm going to close this manga. I'm going to wait, be a patient boy. So I don't want to know nothing quite yet.
Wow, I can't believe you spoiled the manga.
I know, I can't believe it. We saw baby Legoshi and Jack.
I'm imagining like baby Legoshi and baby Mario hanging out.
Just hanging out. He's the new Yoshi, but actually can kick ass.
He's the new Yoshi. Oh man, good stuff.
Can we talk about real quick about how Bill the Tiger Boy had to get like a little drop of like rabbit's blood? Like it's kind of depicted as like a drug of sorts.
We can talk about that, in fact.
Yes, we can. It's the fact that I don't know why Legoshi got so mad. I guess I'm a little fuzzy on that part of it.
Well, I think it's because we're like the whole thing is when while they're at school, they're taught and learned, you're not supposed to eat herbivores, and even though it's just blood, you're still consuming a piece of a herbivore, and that's a no bueno. And since he's having mixed feelings for one, it kind of gives him more of a reason.
That makes a lot of sense.
Like, so was he like sniffing the blood, or do you think he just was taking a quick?
I took a quick like dollop in his mouth, type of deal. I don't know.
Just on the gums, just get a little.
Yeah, kind of like that. I mean, maybe it could be a smell type deal, because even when Louis gave him back the bottle, it looked like not much was gone from it.
Right. I think part of it too might be that they kind of understand and have a lot of respect for, there's like a line that all the carnivores seem to have, where if they go past that line, their thoughts vanish. It's all instinct.
Yep.
And I think they're nervous that if you take too much of the blood or, get too amped up by it, suddenly you're massacring a room full of people because you've got bloodlust now.
Mm-hmm.
Which, man, I don't understand why, like, there isn't, like, I don't know, a pill or something that carnivores can take. Like, that would be a big, like, I would want something to, like, suppress those instincts real bad, because I would not be, like, it's like every time Legoshi just sniffs a little bit of blood, he's like, oop, there goes all of my brain function. I'm just gonna have to fight this for a couple minutes now. Like, that would be rough.
Pardon me, I'm about to get ripped.
Yep.
What about the fingers, boy? The fingers.
The fingers.
I knew that you wanted to talk about it, and I was just like, I want to make sure we talked about it.
The fingies.
The fingies.
Oh man, that is like, there are only like a couple of scenes that I would say like really, really stick out, and that was probably at the top of my list. Was like that reveal when they went to the black market, and was it a goat?
Yeah, it was a goat.
So. Yep.
Yeah, it was like an elderly goat. He had like 3 fingers left or something, and he was like, "Are you hungry? Have one of my fingers." And he's got price tags hanging from the fingers. Like, oh man, it was like, and he wasn't even like nervous about it hurting or whatever. He was like, "Here, let me jam half my hand into your mouth. Doesn't that seem tasty? I bet you want it." Like, holy crap. That hit me like a bus.
The classist society.
It just makes you think, though, too, like, after all your fingers are gone, then what, man? Then what? Because literally, you can't grab anything. Like, you can't do it. So what's the point of having money if you can't, like, I don't know, grab a drink? I don't understand.
Do you think after that, maybe he, like, sells an arm? Like, how much do you think an arm would go for if he's charging for fingers?
Probably 7.
Oh, man. Probably 7. At least.
At least 7. At least 7. At least that many.
I mean, whatever he's charging, he should have charged more, because he was missing some fingers there. I would be charging precisely enough that, like, I would get a taker, you know, maybe like once every month or something, you know, keep my fingers a little bit, you know, don't give yourself away like that, old goat. Don't give pieces of yourself away, because pretty soon you're going to realize you gave a little bit of yourself to everybody, but you didn't keep any for yourself. And that is what we can all learn from this.
It's a good lesson. This is a good lesson. You know what? Maybe that's the lesson that this anime was really trying to teach us all along.
Don't sell your body parts.
It's odd and interesting how, like, the bug Kabu was introduced, like, in the first and second episode, and then you never see it again until, like, episode 10, when Legoshi, like, you know, it's a symbol of his childhood innocence or whatever, and it's like this big emotional thing that Kabu the Beetle has died. And Legoshi's about to fight, and he looks at his fist, and there's a golden Kabu the Beetle on his hand, and it flies away as Jack finds the dead body of the beetle that Legoshi has kept alive for months. It's like, okay, I appreciate the symbolism. I really appreciate the symbolism of Kabu the Beetle, meaning, you know, like, his childhood innocence has died. He's ready to become a man, but, like, maybe show Kabu more than, like, 2 minutes over the whole season, and if that's going to be your symbol for that.
Yeah, you know, when you mention it, it really did kind of feel like something that I was, like, meant to have stronger feelings about. But I did kind of just go, oh no, you know, like, they're like, oh, he's dead. That's a bad omen. And I'm kind of like, wait, I forgot this beetle was here.
Forgot the beetle
this was a thing.
I did too.
I'm desperately trying to find, because I thought I wrote it down in my notes and I cannot find it anywhere. That's the song that Jack sang, like when he was wagging his tail.
Oh!
I'm trying to figure out what the words were. I thought it was really cute.
We were watching that in the Discord, Hero and I and like a half dozen other people, and we like rewatched that little part like five times. He's like wagging his tail and dancing and walking down the hall like Legoshi's got a crush.
Oh, it's the one where he's making fun of, like, Legoshi likes someone, right?
Yes.
It was like,
yes.
And then he turns around and he does like a little shuffle.
Oh, my tail is swinging. Maybe I'm in love. I think that's what it is. That was adorable.
That's great.
That was like the greatest. That was my pick for like favorite shot of the whole thing.
It's real good.
Oh, that was so satisfying. Those little characterizations are so very good.
They do a good job. They do a good job of characterizing everybody. They did a lot of mocap for this to
I saw
assist in like the rigging for all of it, but that's why like it looks so darn good, because it is all CG.
Yeah, like for CG, it is very, very good. Like my first kind of like the only other couple of CG anime likes, like I think people consider Ruby to be an anime, and Berserk are the two I can think of that look about the same.
Mm-hmm.
And it is hard to get correct because I know Muffin on his Twitch like will go through like upcoming anime, and what did you call it? Like 3D anime hell or something?
3D compositing or something? I don't know.
Yeah, you were just like, oh boy, this looks like awful 3D animation. Here we go.
Oh God, what was it?
Like you can just tell from like the first visuals. It's like, okay, this is gonna be rough.
Oh, I said I'm getting X-Arm vibes. Like, we still haven't watched X-Arm, but I've watched a little bit of it. That thing is janky. But yeah, no, it's easy to get wrong. It's really easy to get wrong. There's some anime that are coming out now that are full 3D that really look so janky. I think this season, the Duke of Death and His Maid, I watched the trailer for that, and it was hard to watch, legitimately.
And I don't know, is it? What I know, it's a Netflix original, but Netflix didn't really like put too much into this, right?
I don't know. I think that they just have the distribution rights in America for that.
Okay.
Because it aired on Japanese TV 2 seasons ago, I think. It was last season or 2 seasons ago. So I think what Netflix does, they wait for the dub to be finished, and then they put it all up.
Because I've watched, like how, Time Off in saying that there's a lot of 3D animes that are janky AF, and it's just, Beastars is like, even like, 'cause I've watched all of Ruby, I've watched a lot of 3D type of animes, and this was the most clean, the most pretty. It was just really beautiful.
And the studio they've released one other anime that is mostly 3D called Land of the Lustrous that was directed by the same dude. There's a lot of, like the action scene with the lion at the end of this one, the big swooping camera angles. There's at least like 2 or 3 shots in the action scenes of that anime that are similar. And you can tell, like, okay, the DNA of the action scenes in Beastars really came from here. And it's very interesting to watch that, knowing that the same director and studio are involved in making it. Which, yes, I did watch the whole thing.
You mentioned before we started that the director has a bit of an interesting past.
The director is kind of wild. Like, I'll get into that spiel. So, dude worked on at Tezuka Productions and Studio Ghibli, which are like the two of the like most iconic like production houses for anime, like classic anime. He worked on Kimba the White Lion as like an episode director. He was an assistant director on some Ghibli films, like but they're not the good ones. They're not the ones you've heard of. It's like Pom Poko. It's like the rooster that flies planes. And he did some other he was an assistant director for a movie called Koro that I think 4 Degrees C made. But all of the stuff he did before Land of the Lustrous and Beastars are all very poorly received. Like somewhere between a 4 and a 6 on my anime list. And dude just fell off the face of the earth as far as the anime industry is concerned in 2004 after he worked on Steam Boy, which was like a big, huge feature. It was incredibly expensive. It was like the most expensive anime movie ever made at that point because it was like prehistoric CG days. So even just the programs to do it were so expensive. It just made it the most expensive anime movie ever made at that point. And after that movie kind of flopped, he just disappeared from anime for, 10 to 15 years and just worked on like getting really good at 3D compositing and After Effects. Dude has published a book on how to use After Effects. And it's just kind of wild, like how he started at some like like prestige studios, did some not great stuff like as an assistant director and episode director and what have you, went away for a while, and then once 3D stuff got easier and that was the field he was in, he comes back and just full on directs a couple of series that are bangers.
Do you think maybe it's like a situation where he was like ahead of his time?
I think it's possible. It's hard to say because I think because I watched a little bit of Steam Boy as well in preparation just for this, just because I was curious about the guy, just because the story's so weird. Anybody who if they're in anime and they drop out, they're just out forever. It's not a thing where people will go out and come back and go out and come back. But I think, the technology, I think may have just, it got easy enough and enough people knew enough about it, and he knew how to convey the things he wanted to appear on the screen in such a way that he's just made some hot, spicy bangers.
And what is the name of this director?
Oh, sorry. Shinichi Matsumi. My bad.
Shinichi Matsumi. Also, shout out to Nanami Higuchi, who did a lot of this, pretty much all of the script. And they're also credited for series composition of the first series for Beastars, and they also wrote the script for the second season. So Woo! That's good. They've also worked on script for Brand New Animal, episodes 4 and 6, and screenplays on a few different episodes of Little Witch Academia. So capable hands for season 2. Very excited for that.
Which, yeah, that's up now. So
yeah, it is currently up as you are listening to this. We are trapped in the past, and it's not out yet.
We're stuck in a moment in time.
Save us. We just want to watch the second season.
Is it any good? Please.
I hope it's good. I'm hoping it's good.
Does Legoshi get laid?
Oh my gosh,
Hero! I'm looking out for my boy. I'm sorry.
I mean, hey,
you know, that's fair.
You got to do what you got to do. You got to make sure that the boy is taken care of. The moral of the story is being honest and confident in yourself, and knowing who you really are deep inside of you is really hot.
Dude, I gotta say, Legoshi is the perfect gentleman, though.
He is.
Legoshi could have, like, any girl he wanted if he weren't kind of always just skulking around corners and scaring people. But
he tries. He tries.
For being such like a giant muscly monster, he is like super duper gentle with like everybody. Oh, like I just remembered offhand about like the squirrels that exist in the school and how they like almost get stepped on all the time unless they walk on the walls.
The size disparity is wild. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And remember the one part where the one squirrel had a nut they couldn't crack? I think like, so someone's having an argument and there's a squirrel in the background like, guys, I got a nut. I can't crack my nut.
Can someone help me crack my nut?
It's like the same size as them. Time Muffin's losing it a little.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, she was holding a big nut.
It's such a quick aside. I think Hiro and I both noticed it when we were watching in the Discord.
Oh God,
man!
Just all the little stuff is what really makes this anime super duper good. Mm-hmm. I loved a lot of similar stuff when I watched like BoJack Horseman and Tuca and Birdie, which are also sort of like shows that make a lot of jokes and sort of like build a world around, well, what if people were animals and had animal qualities, you know? And I just love all the different ways that they think up just clever stuff that's like, this is only an issue for an animal person.
Trying hard not to just start talking about Odd Taxi, but we should watch Odd Taxi at some point.
Muffin's really rallying hard for Odd Taxi, so that's probably going to be in the future.
How many episodes is it?
13. At some point we'll get there.
Yeah. If anybody wants to hear Odd Taxi, leave a comment, hit that bell.
Hit the bell, leave a review, leave us a message on our Anchor page.
Just please, we're desperate.
Click the button, leave us a message. I want to hear your dulcet tones in my ear holes.
Please,
I want to talk to anybody but these guys at this point.
Please talk to me. Just notice me, senpai.
I'm so lonely.
Oh no,
so lonely.
It's so lonely living in here inside your iPod. Because that's the only thing that does podcasts. It's in the name.
Oh no! I'm trapped in your iPod.
Let me out.
You know what else? You know what else they should do? You should go and cover yourself in the comfort of a Pretty Fly for a Senpai shirt. Yo, we got more limited edition merch.
Look like a beast.
Look like a beast, also a senpai. You'll be looking pretty fly for a senpai, wearing this sweet custom Beastars inspired logo.
Woo!
I wonder who designed that logo. Do you have any idea, Hiro?
It wasn't my dad, I know that.
It was Time Muffin.
Oh, Time Muffin, yeah.
Dun.
I must have sleep designed that one.
Time Muffin knocked it out of the park.
There's antlers all over it. Big antlers. If you want big antlers, if you want to be strong and have an arranged marriage like Louis, head on over to www.prettyflyforsenpai.com. Yeah, no, go over to www.prettyflyforsenpai.com. Again, that's www.prettyflyforsenpai.com, and go get your custom limited edition Beastars inspired logo shirt. Do it. Stickers, fanny packs.
Well, I'm sold.
The fanny packs is what got you, wasn't it?
I'm going to go right now. See you nerds later.
See you nerds later. All right, let's get down and dirty. Let's get dirty.
What?
Okay.
Let's talk about numbers. Let's talk about digits. I mean, not like the goat fingers, but like.
Oh, I was about to give you my phone number. I was really confused.
Who wants to go first? Should I go first? I never go first. I'll go first this time. I think I've gone last every episode.
Yeah, I feel like I always go first, and I kind of color the expectations, so I get to go last this time.
I'll go first. I think that the way that the little intricacies and the different themes that they have throughout are pretty well explored. The instinct versus like socially acceptable, the racist, classist kind of stuff is interesting. There are a couple of things that could be done better, like the Kabu thing. But overall, the story is tight. It's not complete, obviously, because they leave it on kind of a cliffhanger. But it's I think I would have to give it. I'll give the sub a 7 and the dub an 8.5. That's how I'm rolling with it. The dub adds a point and a half. Hero, what are your thoughts?
As a whole, from not only just the music, the animation, just the way it looks, the storytelling, I like this anime a lot. It's really good. From like how we were talking about before with Legoshi having the inner thoughts, and then just this one person doing one thing while he's thinking in the other frame, to just it looks just so pretty. And I feel like just everything was so good. Like, this isn't a 10 out of 10. This is most certainly not, because like how you said, there's still some drawbacks. I'll give it a 9. This is a solid 9. And this is probably the first time. It's not first time, because for a lot of the animes that we've watched together, I've been doing the dub because I normally watch sub, and man, the dub is just way better than the sub. It's just, I was really blown away how much of a difference it was, and a good job on them, man. It's hard to get the English dub to be super good like it is.
I have to admit that I'm trying to think of a good reason to give it less than a 10, because honestly, like, I get the Kabu kind of thing, and yeah, but like, aside from that, the music was great, voice acting on dub was good, was great, not just good. Just their use of 3D was fantastic. The shading especially, I really liked it. It reminded me kind of like Wind Waker. I love that kind of look. I just love that kind of look.
Yes, dude.
I'm giving it a 10. Like, I can't find any faults with it.
Whoa, let's go.
That's what we like to see, baby. Woo!
Super excited to see season 2. I really hope they expand a lot.
I hope so. I'm excited. I'm jacked for it. I saw the trailer. There's a big snake wearing a Bancho hat.
What?
A Bancho scary gang hat.
I haven't seen the trailer yet. There's a snake person?
Yo, it's just a big fucking snake, dude.
Dude, I've been playing Spiritfarer, and one of the characters is a snake in like a robe, and like she just kind of like puts her snake parts like through like the like just part of the snake like curls around through the sleeves, so it kind of looks like she has a hand.
Yeah, I just remember seeing like it's a snake. I don't know if it's a he or a she, but it's just sitting there. There's like a couple frames of it, but it's got like the Josuke Joestar.
Oh my god,
Bancho hat. It's so good.
I want to watch this trailer afterwards. This is it. Give me a hype.
I'm hyped for season 2, which you could go watch now. It came out
Yeah,
it's out.
Come on.
We can't watch it.
What are you doing?
But you can.
No, you can.
So go. You know,
I'm gonna watch it right
let's
soon.
Yeah, we're gonna go watch it. Let's go. Let's hang out. Popcorn time.
Let's go, everybody. Let's go watch some anime with anime.
Let's go. Yeah,
please.
anime with anime and my senpai friends. I'm Time Muffin.
I'm Shark Wellington.
And I'm Hero 19X.
And just keep it senpai.
Remember, be a beast.
Be a beast.
You star.
You're always a star. Just remember that. You're always a star to me.
Keep it beastly. I don't know. I got nothing.
It's all good. We're fine.
We're good. We're good.